It's time for Fits and Starts!
Hello, Gillian. I've admitted you.
Hello, Alan. Thank you.
You're welcome. What's that? The fuck is that? Do you do that? You know, sometimes when people are, I'm wondering if I do it. I don't think I do. When people are trying to concentrate on something, they stick their tongue out and go, no, good, good.
Yeah.
No?
I did it to take the piss.
Fair enough.
I mean, I hope I don't do it, to be honest.
That's it. You look really like a gecko when you do it. Have you ever seen a gecko with its tongue out? You know, the ones that like lick their own eyeballs. I used to have pet geckos. So I used to have 2 pet geckos when I lived in China. They're the lads where if you pull their tails, they come off, you know. Not that I did that. That sounds like I was doing that every week or something. That's not the idea. Yeah, and they have the same thing where they go, so.
You just pull their tail off and give it back. You're like, I broke it. It's done now.
Ridiculous. Is that a siren in the background there with you? Normally all the sirens are in my background. That's fun.
No, there's no siren, but there's always sirens in your background, to be fair.
There
Although
is.
last night there was it was like 2:00 in the morning, and there was these two, well, actually there were definitely more than 2 of them, these like little absolute howies running around the estate, and they were screaming at each other, and they like ran past my my window, and one lad was like, "Your ma's a fat cunt," and I was like, great entertainment at this hour of the morning.
It's nice to know that some of the classic insults haven't disappeared over time.
Yeah.
You know, they're
nice to know people are still insulting your mother. You know,
that's
it's
it.
great.
It's not. It hasn't. The art form hasn't innovated massively in the last 10 years.
Exactly.
You can still feel in touch with that. You know. You're just like.
You can still throw out a your mom joke and you're still relevant, you know?
Yeah, I remember when I used to say to my friends that their mom was a fat cunt. That brings back memories, you know? The joy of youth, you know?
Yeah. Still young.
What did you call them? Howyas? Is that Dublin slang for hooligans?
Yeah, well that's what I call the Dublin people. The Dublin geckos. Is that what you said?
I didn't say that, but that's great. I'll start using that now. That could be the new racial slur we use against the Dubs. Those fucking geckos.
Yeah,
those fucking gecks. You know what they're like. They're all the same. The geckos. Geckos is cute though. It's that's a cute. If that was my group and I was called the geckos, I'd be like, yeah, I kind of like that.
We insult your mom, but that's all we do. Yeah,
that's all. We just run past your window. Maybe it wasn't directed at you, no. It wasn't an enemy of yours from the past.
Well, I'm not sure. My curtains were closed, so they very well could be screaming at me, and that's probably why it went on for so long, because I wasn't reacting to it, you know?
Like screaming up at you and be like, damn it, we know she's in there. We know she can hear us.
God damn it. But yeah, then someone broke, like you could just hear glass break, and then there was absolute silence for the rest of the night. I was like, someone's dead. Someone is fully dead.
Sweet.
Sweet.
You've got hourly witnessed. You're an hourly witness. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be a witness. Like a few nights ago as well, I don't live in the best neighborhood in Dublin now. But this happened a few nights ago as well, where there was like these people like roaring at each other. I think this guy got stopped by the like undercover guards or whatever.
Okay.
But I could hear them, but I was like, I'm not looking out the window because I don't want to be a witness.
Quality social responsibility there on Gillian's part. Basically, real life reenactment of that classic study they have where like no one in the neighborhood pays attention and the woman gets murdered and raped, and you're just like, yeah, fuck that.
Bedtime.
That's so
I don't want to be killed by the fucking geckos.
They can climb walls. That's what I hear. Why do you think they call them that?
Right. And my window's open, so I'm not getting involved.
That's right. You fucking will open the window and they're licking on the window, you know?
Yeah.
Did I tell you that? Did I tell you that? I was in Cambodia with my girlfriend at the time, and we were staying in this hotel because she was living in Cambodia and I was going to visit her. And we were in this little hotel place. It was quite nice. It was on a little island kind of in a river somewhere. It was cool. And it was nice little hostel place that we were staying in, and we hired bicycles, or we went driving around the island, which was cool. then at nighttime, it's kind of the hotel we were staying in was kind of raised up, and then it was like kind of not on stilts, but like this part of it, I guess it must have been on the edge of a mini little cliff, because down below it there was all this farmland, but we were kind of up there, and you could like look out onto all these fields. And there was festivals going on at the time of some sort. I'm not sure exactly what they were about. I can't remember now. So there would be different noise and music, and you could hear from around the place. So we were in our little hostel, we were watching a movie, and then we heard this noise from outside the window, right? Now remember, the window is like it looking off onto a cliff, so we're and then my girlfriend, as a joke, was like, "Oh, we were watching like a scary film as well." She was like, "Oh, that's probably someone about to come in and kill us." And I was like, "Yeah," because again, it's impossible. How would they? And she, as a joke, she went over and she opened the window and went, "Gotcha!" and pulled back the curtain, and there was a fucking guy at the window. He was like up on the window, like a gecko, right? And she went, "Rah!" and I went, "Rah!" and the guy went, "Rah!" and then like fell off whatever he'd gotten up on. And then we were like, "What the fuck?" So then we like called we went around and got the owners of the place saying, "Hi, there's people climbing up our windows." And apparently what it was, I was like, how did they even do that? Apparently it was like local kids, what they do for that was their like evening entertainment. They used to get, it wasn't even like a ladder. It was amazing. They get like a bamboo pole, put it up against the slope, and then basically shimmy up this bamboo balloon and have a gawk in the window at these fucking white people on holiday, fucking probably. We weren't at that stage. And so it was just so surreal though, man. Just because you didn't.
Oh my god, I would have died, lost like shit. Like.
But then also, I thought afterwards, honestly, I mean, it was just kids or whatever. I don't think it was anything sinister, really. Although still not cool to spy on people. But what I thought was like, holy shit, because like that guy, the poor fucking guy. She must have scared the shit out of him. He must have just fallen off the fucking pole. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, because it wasn't a ladder, like, so she went, "Ma!" and then he went, "Wow," and he sort of disappeared from view. So we thought at the time he'd climbed down, but in retrospect, he must have just gone smack.
Off the cliff.
No, it was just so surreal, man. So surreal.
Oh
you always think, "Oh, I'm just being paranoid." Oh,
yeah,
there'll be
like
no one at the window.
When you go into the bathroom and like move the fucking shower curtain back more and stuff. Yeah. You're like, "Oh, there's never going to be someone there."
Dude. And one day there'll be somebody there.
Holy Jesus. That's me not sleeping now for a week.
There you go. That's it. You want out for you live.
Bolting up my windows.
How you kind of come up the drain pipe, licking your window. Just because they're geckos.
Don't like that now.
I don't like that. We always end up talking about scary stuff, Gillian. That's not fair on you. Every time we have a conversation, and then we're just like, "Oh, that reminds me." So that's the story of the true serial killer that's real, and you're like, "Oh." That's it.
True. And that's weird because I don't like scary things. I don't want scary movies or anything ever.
I know. We are. I'm well versed in your dislike of scary things, but yeah. That's it. So what else have you been up to, Gillian? How's the running going, man? How's the running?
Good. I didn't do it for like 2 days.
You said weeks.
You're meant to leave like a day in between your runs or whatever, but I didn't do it for like 2 days. And I honestly thought I was going to die when I did do the run. Right. I did it yesterday. Yeah. And I was like, this is the end. Good looking, thanks. It's not even so much like my breathing. It's more my legs just get so tired.
Sure. And the more you do it, they're getting fatigued over time as well, aren't they?
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing it, but I don't think, can you run wrong? I don't think so. But your one on the podcast is always like, by the time that I'm like, I'm going to pass out, she's always like, you probably feel really tired right now. And I'm like, okay, this is fine.
Yeah. Well, no, that's good though. That's why that podcast thing is cool to have that.
So good.
Yeah, to let you know that you're not actually in the minority of people who are dying at this point during the thing as well. But also taking the extra day off was probably worse as well in a way. You know what I mean? Sometimes they say that.
You do not do that.
Yeah.
Because you die if you do that, basically.
Good motivation to stay on target. But that's good. That's very good.
It's going well. I did tell my mother did I tell you this? I told my mother that I started running, and she was like, "Why would you do that?"
Would you do? Supportive as ever, your mother. What are you doing?
So
you're trying to kill yourself.
Yeah, I think, you know, when I told her, I thought she thought that I was like, you know, going straight into running a marathon. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to kill myself, you know? Basically, I told my mother I was committing suicide, I'd say. That's what she heard.
That's mammy's all over, man.
Drawn out and painful. But yeah. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
It's that's funny, man. That's what mothers are always like, you know. If you try and do, you're just like, I'm trying to get healthy. Well, you cry, you're mad. You'll die. You'll kill yourself. What do you do? Lifting weights that fall down and break your head, you know?
Yeah.
And then
I'd say something if I was like, oh, I'm gonna go do like, you know, a skydive or something. And she'd be like, why would you do that? But I was just like, I'm running around the park, like that's what I'm doing. You know? The
most dangerous activity you can fathom. Gillian's life on the edge. You're breaking your mother's heart.
Right? I'm the troubled child. I'm the troubled one. She
went
running.
And then we never thought we'd see this day. We did everything we could. We tried to raise her the right way. And your brothers and sisters all shaking their heads like she's let the family down. The black sheep. Gillian, the black sheep. The bleating, running black sheep.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Have you got any shopping in Gillian now? The shops have been liberated from the tyranny of whatever.
I went to, where did I go? Oh no, I just went into Dunn's, but that was already open. So I haven't actually gone to any of like the ones that have just reopened. Like I've stayed away from Pennies and all those ones. Like I was in town with my friend during the week. When did it open? It opened on Friday, didn't it? Thursday or Friday? And I was
last minute, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I was with him then on Saturday in town, and we just went like in the direction of Pennies, and the queue was just fucking insane. Yeah, you're just like, really, lads? Really? Like, I get queuing for Tesco's because you need food.
You gotta eat.
You gotta eat. But I just don't get standing in a fucking queue for hours to get into Pennies. Because then what happens if you get in and it's really late and they're like out of everything? You'd be fucking raging.
You're going to end up buying I mean, like, whenever you go into Pennies, you always end up buying shit that you don't need, you won't want, you'll never wear anyway. Like, now, if you had to keep, I mean, from their point of view, obviously there's less people in the store, so that brings sales down. But I'm sure anybody who actually gets in the store, then if it takes that long, they're just like, fucking, if I don't spend at least 50 euros, I'd be mad after queuing up, you know? So
yeah, that's so true. So just buy the whole shop. But I'm not sure, but I don't know if their returns policy is the same. I don't think you're allowed to return stuff anymore. I know that you're not allowed to try clothes on in there anymore.
Right.
I think that might be most shops actually. You're not really allowed to try anything on, but I'm pretty sure
I suppose
it would make sense that you can't return stuff as well, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing I saw here was that you're allowed to try stuff on, but then that stuff is like contaminated and they don't put it back on the shelves for like 3 days or a week or something, because this is the amount of time it takes. Like, even if you fucking spat in the thing, the disease, it doesn't last that long after whatever it is, 3 days. I think the longest it can last on plastic, like a clear, perfect surface, is like a week. And that's like, if it's in ideal conditions, like fabric and stuff, is only a few days. So that's what they're doing here, I think, but I don't know.
Yeah, I might go tomorrow and just have a roam around, but I also might not do that at all. It sounds awful. I don't like Brown Thomas have done a thing where it's like an appointment. Were we talking about this last week?
No.
Where like you'd like go online and you book like a slot in the shop, so then you have like your time and you just go in, and then there's no queues outside, and it just looks a lot better, you know.
Like, that makes sense. That makes sense with their business model, because it's all like the whole fucking Brown Thomas thing is like exclusivity, you know, only the most refined, you know, only the really culturally enlightened, you know. Do you have this in mink fur? I don't know about this moleskin. It's very working class, isn't it? I don't know how I feel. It's like that appointment thing makes sense for them because it's more exclusivity, more time. Whereas like Pennies is like the Pennies is like a dogfight of a shop. Like that's what it sells itself on. So now it's like going to a dogfight with no dogs, which is just a bunch of sweaty men standing in a circle, and that's no fun.
That is no fun. Would not recommend.
I do realize I am now inadvertently recommending dogfights. I'm also, just for the record, I'm not actively promoting
Not doing that.
dogfights.
Yeah. Do you know what's really annoying about it is that like you can't just run in somewhere and just pick up like something like really quick that you need. Do you know what I mean? That's the most annoying thing about this.
100%.
It's like,
yeah.
I just like, what happens if you're like walking on the road and like you rip your fucking shirt in half and you're like, fuck, I need to go to, I'm like on my way to work. I've ripped the sleeve off my shirt.
Does this happen to you a lot, Gillian? Does this happen a lot?
No.
Where you're just like, whoosh, Jesus, not again.
God damn it. No, but I was thinking about a girl that I used to work with, and I don't remember what happened. Like a blow.
She got fired for coming in topless, presumably.
Her button on her shirt burst or something, so she like ran into a shop before, like on her way to work, and then she was like at work, changed, and it was fine. But I was like, you can't do that anymore because now you have to stand in the queue for fucking 4.5 hours.
Yeah, but that's true. You can't. The whole like emergency, last minute rom-com. Wardrobe switcheroo, you can't do that anymore because you just like, I just pop in and queue for 40 minutes. Yeah, there's no like you can't do anything in a hurry anymore. It's not like, I need this really quickly. You're like, no, I need to add an extra at least 40 minutes to the whole thing. Yeah, that sucks, man. That is true. That is a bummer. I remember like when did I do you ever do a full wardrobe change? And that's what like Pennies now or the equivalent is good for. I did when I was lived in China. I was coming back to my apartment building and I went through, they just demolished this whole other apartment building near me, right? And it was dark and I was kind of walking through all this rubble because I'm a fucking genius. I was like, shortcut here now, this is the job. So I walked through all this rubble and I put my foot in a hole that turned out to be a hole that was like up to my fucking top of my leg, and that hole was full of human shit because it was obviously the sewage tank or whatever it was from the building that had been demolished.
You don't smell it like.
Well, like but when you smell shit, you're like, shit's. You're not expecting. That I didn't intentionally do it, Jim. Is what I'm saying. So my leg goes into it and just fucking all the way up I was just covered in shit. I can't remember why. I didn't have other clothes. I didn't have other jeans. That was it. Yeah. And then he bought me other stuff anyway. I was like, please I can't go out of the house with no pants on, and I can't go out the house covered in shit. Like foreigners already have a kind of a not great reputation. Let's not add the new stereotype of us always being covered in our own shit to the list of...
It's not even your own shit, which is worse.
I know, right? But again, the more you try to explain it, the worse it gets. No, it's fine. You don't get it. It's not my shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm fucking just taking all that stuff off and putting it in a bag, showering. It was like the best and worst experience because I just never felt so, but at the same time, having showered for I think I showered for probably like fucking an hour and a half, man. I was just like, no, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
That is disgusting.
So rank. But then he bought me clothes in Walmart, which is like the equivalent to Pennies in China in terms of being able to get cheap shit, really. That also fits because of Western sizes and things, which is good. And he bought me the whole outfit from when you go into Pennies, there's like mannequin guy who's wearing whatever. He bought me like a whole one of them. Like my normal tweed, or not tweed, what do you call it, cloth shirts thing, and black jeans, and the shoes, the cloth shoes, because that was it. That was like my only pair of shoes too, and they were fucking gone as well. And then when we went back into the store, he was like, "You look just like the mannequin or whatever," because obviously I have a bald head too, and I'm whiter than everyone else around. So then I told you before, I stood up on the thing on the what's it called, the little raised area where the clothes are on display.
Podium?
Yeah, like a podium, yeah, but not super high. Like I wasn't bouncing, but I was just a little bit off because I was wearing all the clothes like the people, and I just stood there like a mannequin. And only about half the people who walked past clocked that I was a mannequin, and the other half, it was great, man. He was laughing and filming it. And then there was one little kid who was like, Dad, look, it's a person, it's a real person. And the dad was like, come on now. We've got to go. We've shopping. Your mother's waiting for us. And I felt really bad because I was like, that poor child, like that's mental trauma now in that poor little Chinese child's head.
Was that a person?
Are the mannequins real? Are they real?
Hiding from all the mannequins.
And as well, also, if you're a foreigner in China, like it's already unusual to see you anyway. So to see you pretending to be a mannequin is so far out of the realms of possibility. Like it's just. The poor fucking kid.
You're the worst. He's definitely in therapy, 100%. Or else he's just walking around killing people.
It could be right now. He's just going around. They call him the mannequin killer. He kills people and then he positions them like mannequins.
Oh no!
That works well.
His parents are like, "Where did this come from? What happened?"
Ever since that shopping trip, we don't know what happened.
Yeah. Hasn't been the same. He hasn't been the same.
It was worth it though. It was worth it for the couple of people where I went like when I like popped out.
Nice.
See, that was back in the day. If you did that now, people would assume you were making like a viral video or something, and not just a couple of maniacs.
Yeah. Fuckers. They'd also probably try to sue you as well. People are no crack anymore. Like
people are no
crack.
Remember back in the day where you could just assault people in the streets and they just laughed it off.
Everyone laughed about it. It was fine. No one got arrested.
Mannequins. You know I'm obsessed with mannequins, not in a murder way. Not yet. What's your...
Not in a sexual way.
No, not in a sexual way. I'd say not in a sexual way either.
Mannequin.
So what mannequin do you prefer now if you were gonna have a shop? Little Jill's. We got to talk about the Little Jill dolls in a second. I've got an update. The Little Jill's clothes shop. What type of mannequins would you have? Headless, armless ones? Do you have the ones that have the head, but it's like the round sphere with no facial features? Do you go for the old school haunted doll looking spray painted ones? You know what I mean? What's your mannequin of choice?
I don't like the mannequins that don't have any heads because I think that's really bad form. So I think my mannequins would, but I don't want them to have faces, so they would just be the like blank, just the
blank.
Yeah.
The nowhere people kind of.
Yeah, but I would like them to have all of their limbs. You know, sometimes some of them are missing limbs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my mannequin would definitely be a proper one. Although I'm not a big fan of the children's ones. They look a bit creepy, don't they? Maybe because they're taller than me.
Just at every corner. Even the fake people are taller than me. Even the...
This is bullshit!
So they'd have hands and toes and everything now, just not faces? Do they have hands? Faces. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like...
The ones that are really weird are the sock or the ones for the socks. You know, it's literally just like a foot and a tiny bit of the leg. And
disembodied leg.
Yeah, and they're like, these socks would look great on you.
But like that's why that one is particularly weird because it's like these socks would look great on a dismembered foot. Like that really, that is in the realm of sort of psychosexual murder or fetishism. That's what I think when I see that.
That's what your man in China's doing now. He's going around collecting all those.
Collecting the legs.
Yeah. I need some hands. I need some hands.
Just some weird cobbled together limb monster. There was what was I thinking? I think mannequins. I don't like the ones that are like fully like realistic faces. You know, where they've kind of got. And there's a new category of mannequin as well. You might have noticed. I'm not sure if you subscribe to Mannequin Monthly like I do, but there's ones that are almost cartoony looking. They have like cartoonish features on their faces. They're really unsettling. They don't look like they're trying to be realistic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't like. I haven't seen those, but I don't think I'd like them. They don't need to have faces. It just makes them It makes me feel like, you know, mannequins will turn into Toy Story when the shop is closed. They all just run around. you know, you have them dressed one way and then you come into work the next day and they're wearing something else and you're like,
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a good little short story or something. Maybe I'll write something about mannequins. What was I thinking? But I think I agree with you. I think I like the mannequins to be fully formed. I don't like this like Venus de Milo missing arms shit. I don't like that.
Or do you know when they're like only like half their body and it just put the whole mannequin up, please.
Just the torso.
Also, are they necessary?
How do you mean?
Do you need them to be like, this is what this top looks like? Because you can see it's on the hanger. Do you need it?
Yeah, I mean, well, maybe you need it more than ever now that you can't try shit on anymore. You'd be crawling back to those mannequins.
But those mannequins are also very, I don't know, what's the word? Non-inclusive, uninclusive.
That's very good, very good.
Because they're always just one size, you know?
There's no, when was the last time you saw a fat mannequin? Never. There are no fat mannequins. I don't know what exercise and diet regime the mannequins are on, but that's
I don't know what fucking podcast they're listening to.
I was gonna say, fuck couch to 5K. You want fucking couch to mannequin. You know, that's you want whatever. They have to eat souls. I believe that's
your
it.
Personality.
That's basically what hashtag fitness goals means, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, they do lose their personality. I can't wait to lose mine.
You're going to be the best. You're just going to be like, I feel so great. You know, people who make health and fitness make it their personality. Like they put that in place.
That's all they are. Yeah, Jesus.
So so tell me more about yourself. Well, I'm really into running, and you know, I like.
Yeah,
I do a lot of
tell
squats.
that from your fucking physique, like.
Yeah, cool. And when you're not doing that, what else do you do? What do you mean? When I'm not doing that, what do you mean? You know,
yeah, I cook a really healthy meal, and then I Instagram it.
That's it. And of course, if you're a lady as well, whether if you're a man as well, it's all the same. But you know, you can show it all off on Instagram then, so you just become disembodied mannequin-esque pictures of perfection, and then people give you a million likes, and then presumably you live a very satisfied, happy life, and there's no downside.
Rumor has it there's no downside ever.
Can't see any problem.
Except you have to stay that shape and weight forever, or else you lose your personality. If you gain anything, game over.
See, that's the problem with with fitness becomes your personality. I suppose if anything becomes your personality, if that thing then goes away, what are you?
It's like it's a danger. Yeah, we were talking about this at the start of the lockdown. We were talking about comedy, like people being like, I can't survive without it.
Right.
We were talking about that.
Yes. Yeah.
And like, well, you should be able to fucking survive without it. And we were saying about relationships as well, is that you should be able to not be with them constantly.
Yeah.
Because then otherwise, when if it does go, what happens? You know.
With lots of other fields as well, I'm sure the wheels are coming off when they're not able to do it. Because again, you sort of, which is an indication that you've over-invested in that. You know, you need to have other strings to your bow, man. You know, you can't just have the one thing. Otherwise, but yeah, relationships slightly different in the sense that, although maybe not. It just, if you're over-invested in the one person to the point where you're completely reliant on them. That's not healthy, man. That's not healthy.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, it is.
Well, why aren't there fat mannequins? Not fat, but I mean different body sizes. I keep being like, all this body shaming of these disgusting fatsos is awful, isn't it? That's sort of what I'm saying, isn't it? No, but why don't they? Yeah, you'd think, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but most, or at least not, most people aren't like, you know, beach body, perfect, whatever, right? And since you're trying to sell shit to most people, you'd think having less, you know, statuesque mannequins would be good.
Yeah, I don't know why, and I don't know why they don't have them like now. Like, I get why they weren't back in the day, but right now, why haven't they? Unless they have, and I just haven't noticed them. But I have not seen. They're all the same size, in my opinion. They're all.
I've never seen a mannequin other than height. Maybe they make them taller and shorter, but I've never seen a mannequin that didn't have abs. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a flabberkin, or whatever you want to call them. Didn't quite work, but nearly worked. You know, That's it. That's what we could do. That could be our business, making fat mannequins.
A flabberkin.
Or
Like,
different sizes. I don't think we
stories.
should call it fatmannequins.com. I think we should call it inclusive weight, body size, progressivism.net. You know, we need to use the right words. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe fat mannequin won't sell as well.
Although it does sound like a sort of sounds like a good name for your comedy special or like a fat mannequin. It was just snappy. There's something snappy about it. There's a mannequin graveyard. If you want to live in a world of fucking nightmares, check that out. Because apparently mannequins are notorious that you can't really recycle them. So what happens is they get made.
So we could make an inclusive, biodegradable mannequin.
Fucking that'd be brilliant.
Why?
Yeah,
We throw away mannequins anyway.
I guess shops close and they open. I don't know. But anyway, there's this one dude in America who, I think it's a dude. Is it a lady? And it doesn't matter. And maybe it's a mannequin. So a mannequin comes to life. And what she or he does is rescues dumped mannequins and like repairs them and then resells them on. But because of this, he's got like a junkyard house that's just full. I mean, full. Like, you know, like you see like car junkyards that are full of cars. Yeah. Full of mannequins. It is just nightmare fuel, man. It's amazing.
That is terrifying. That's where the movie that's where your short story should be set. All these mannequins. It's like
graveyard.
Yeah. That's where they filmed Thriller. All the mannequins just start coming to life. Yeah.
The arms, you know. You could just have the arms, hold up the arms. Yeah, that's what we should do now, Jins. This is a great business idea, right? Fuck comedy, fucking Flabbikins, inclusive mannequin productions. That's what we gotta fucking do. That's good, yeah. And now is the time. People are talking about recession. Now's the time to make money because like now nobody can try on their shit in the stores. So they need to see whatever this size clothes will look like on this size fucking body human person thing.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
I like it.
I like it. Yeah, that's so funny. That's such a, now you've pointed it out, it's so obvious the lack of body diversity mannequins. But yeah, I'm with you in the sense that I like, have a head, ideally has a head, full size, has arms and legs and things, but no features, prefer no features. And I've got to say, I'm kind of racist. Personally, I like the black ones. I think if it's all white, because I think they get scuffed up easier when they're white. Like I like it good. I like a nice black mannequin. So
they last longer. Is that what you're saying?
Black don't crack. That's what I'm saying. Black don't crack in the mannequin world. So that's just my.
That's not fair. Like the black mannequins age better, and the black people age better than white people.
You were saying, come on, at least give us mannequins. At least let us age better in mannequin form.
Me and my white privilege would prefer a mannequin that lasted longer, please.
That's it. That's the sort of the last bastion of sort of the white privilege. It's just kind of like, they're taking our jobs, now they're taking our mannequin spots. Oh, look at all the windows back in my day. It used to be all white mannequins. Now they've replaced them all. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
It's out of control. And also why not have some purple mannequins too? Why not change? No, but I suppose you do need a flat color because you don't want it to interfere with the color of the clothes. Yeah, so that I could see.
Yeah, and I think, maybe. I was going to say like you'd want it to be like your skin color so you know what it kind of looks like, but that doesn't work because you also have to include like their hair color and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think just keeping it neutral. Although in the future, maybe you could just, you go up to it and you tap it and it changes skin tone. Or it could match your skin tone, like a chameleon. Wouldn't that be good?
We should do like an app where instead of trying the clothes on, like you go over and you like scan the clothes and then it like you have like a picture of like you in the app and then it'll like put the clothes on you. So then you see on your phone what it looks like on you. I'm sure this app already exists.
I think it already exists. I definitely did just see it recently in an episode of Westworld, but that's the future. But it's I think they also have it now. But it's still a good idea. Do you have any other ones? Have you been working on a typewriter, perhaps?
So I have this idea, right? It's It's a stationary laptop.
Don't you just get tired? Don't you miss paper? Introducing.
Don't you
new-
miss Don't you miss a good old paper cut?
Yeah, that's it. Don't you miss? Ha! You never get that with a
Yeah.
phone. You know, you miss that. Ha ha ha!
You don't get that.
Paper cuts are the best because a paper cut reminds you of how easily killable you are. You know what I mean? Because I think
You're fragile. You're nothing.
you just because you know after a while you're just like, yeah, man, fucking top of the food chain. You know, we're number one. Nothing can beat us. I'm unkillable. And then let me just write a letter to somebody.
And they are so fucking painful. Sweet God,
The
they are
worst.
so painful. When I used to work in an accountancy firm, and every this must have happened probably once every 2 weeks, I'd say. It was pretty regular, where my boss would hand me something to post, a fucking, I don't know, some a really important document that I have to send out to a client that they need to sign all their money away. And he's like, can you just post that to Bob? And I'm like, yeah, grand. And he hands it to me, and I'm like, oh, this is covered in your blood. You have a paper cut. It happened all the time.
Wow. But that means you must not have noticed, though, if you're saying that. Yeah.
He's just gotten so many paper cuts in his life that he doesn't even feel them anymore.
That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. He's just
Okay,
bleeding
every
out.
time I'll be like, we need another one of these.
We need a fresh copy. But that's it. Maybe that's how his clients know it's really him. It's not a forgery.
Yeah.
They're like, here's a new letter from Johnson and Johnson. Hang on a minute. I don't see any blood on this letter.
He doesn't sign it. He just spills his blood on it.
Very old school. Very, very old school. Now, but what would you prefer now, Gillian? Well, prefer is kind of the wrong word. A paper cut or a skinned knee or elbow. I always think knees are worse than elbows, though. Do you know a grazed? Sorry,
Yeah.
Grazed.
They're both so sore.
They're both sore. See, it's tough, isn't it? And they're a similar sort of.
I think I would say a skinned knee or elbow, because you forget about paper cuts and then you peel an onion or something and then it stings so badly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you have to relive the pain all over again. Whereas what are the chances of you falling on your elbow twice?
Well, I mean, I think you and me are both pretty klutzy doofuses, so the chances for us is quite high. But yeah, for a normal human being, would say.
Yeah.
That's tough, you see, because the thing about the grazed knee is that the scab.
Especially now, because you have to keep using that alcohol fucking antibacterial gel.
Oh fuck! Yeah, that's true.
That stings the shit out of your fucking paper cuts. So yeah, no, skin knee all the way.
Yeah, in the current climate, skin knee has to be the way to go. But in normal times where you're not having to hand sanitize all the time, I would go for paper cut over skin knee, because I always just remember the scabs on my knees when I was a child.
Yeah.
You just have them for you fall over once and then it's just you've got a scab on your knee for the next fucking year because you keep picking it off.
True. Yeah, that's so true. But then you end up with a scar. And you're like, yeah, I got this scar from, fighting in the wars.
Badass scar, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a scar on my knuckle from a scab that I just kept picking off. Looks like I've been, which again, who were you, what walls or human beings were you punching? Not just kept picking a scab like a dope.
Yeah. I mean, I was told not to, but I kept doing it.
That was my Nam. That was my fucking Iraq.
Yes. Are you all right? Will you be okay? Will you make it through?
Flashbacks to the first time I
wear
picked
my
it.
scars. There's definitely a fucking a quote that I'm thinking of where it's like, I wear my scars. I have my scars. I wear them with pride. I don't.
Yeah. So there is something like that. I wear my scars with pride, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Not these scars, baby. Not stupid scars.
Don't think they're talking about those ones though.
No, I don't believe they are.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, I always think. I don't know, man. I always think if you're saying something like it's a quote, it's like, I wear my scars. That sounds like a bad tattoo. You know what I mean? That sounds like a rubbish tattoo someone would have on their arm. There's some tattoos you see and they're so sincere that they're just rubbish. You know what I mean?
So awful.
You just
Would you get your kids' name tattooed on you?
no, man, fuck them, no way. I wouldn't unless I. The only thing I can think of is like sometimes, it depends on how it's done now again, because again, like,
Yeah.
fucking scary. Sometimes you see people and they have like in memoriam tattoos of like members of their family, could be their kids, their parents, or whatever. And sometimes they're like tastefully done, and you're like, yeah, that's kind of cool. And then sometimes, like, I know it's shitty, right? Because I'm sure it means something to them, but I just look at that. And think, that looks fucking rubbish, man. If I was your dead son, I'd be horrified that you got that shit tattooed on you of me. Like, fucking ruined it.
So
Just, people have like, it's when it's a full face as well. Like when it's a date, when it's like a date. I like that. I think that's cool. And again, also the thing about the date is it's kind of a reminder to you, but it's not like publicizing it to the world. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Whereas just something when it's a full face of another human being.
Yeah, I don't like when it's like, when someone has a baby and then they get their baby's face tattooed on them, and you're like, do you know that baby's going to grow up and they're not going to look like that forever, and now you just have a baby tattooed on your face. And mostly, like, most babies look the same. So you have
you just have a generic baby. Yeah, you have the universal baby head tattooed on you. That's it. That's great, man. Fucking, have you seen that? Have you seen people with babies tattooed on them? I don't know if I've ever.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's not. I wouldn't recommend it. Like, I don't love it. I don't think personally that I would get my child tattooed, my child's name tattooed on me either. I feel like I would have gone through, to have a baby, I would have gone through enough physical pain.
Yeah.
I don't need a tattoo. To add to that,
your fucking baby's just fucking wrecked your gash, and now you're gonna have it wreck your fucking upper arm as well, like,
and pay for it. Well, guess what?
Pay for it. Yeah, exactly. No, man. That's. I mean, it's funny. I suppose. When I see stuff like that, it's kind of, I cringe, and I also think it's brilliant at the same time, because I'm just like, it reminds me that people are fucking maniacs, right? But then I'm like, it reminds you also as well, it's people who think in a way that's so radically different from you that they'll be like, yeah, I'll get my own baby's head tattooed on my arm. That's solid. And they just, and they think it. And not only do they think it, but then they go, yeah, no, I thought about it, and this is definitely the best idea I've ever had. And then they do it. And then after they've done it, they still think it's a great idea. And it just,
and they paid for it.
And they paid for it, and they're delighted they did it. And you're just like, fuck me, man. You may as well be from fucking Neptune. It's great. And it's good. I'm good for them. I mean, if they're happy and if it means something to them, good for them. But it just reminds you of how different people's brains are. That's great, man. It's fucking
I do like tattoos, though. I do think they're nice.
But do you have any? You don't have any tattoos, do you?
No, I would get one, though. I would like one. But
what would you get now, Gillian? Besides well, you don't have any babies yet. Sure, actually, you know what you could do? Preemptive strike. Since all babies look the same, just go into the fucking guy. Give me a baby on here. Is it your son or daughter? Just born. Just a baby. Just a generic looking baby. Like, try to make it cute. Don't give it like a fucking. Don't make it scowling or like it's trying to take a shit or something. Give it a nice, a nice baby.
Give it a little smile.
I'm not a lunatic. I don't want an angry baby on my shoulder. Just a generic baby's head.
Thank you very much. Can you leave a space for the name and the date?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You could just put in 20 and then leave a space, because just do the 20 now. Just.
I mean, because it's probably going to happen in the next, couple of years.
Well, I mean, the next 1,000 years, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you would think so.
That's so great. So, but what would you get tattooed? So, Gillian, so you like tattoo? Now, 2 questions. Do you like tattoos for you? Do you like tattoos in your significant others? And what would you get tattooed? That's 3 questions. I can't count. Okay.
I would like a tattoo. I don't know what I would get tattooed. I'd have, because I haven't got a tattoo because
your set list, Gillian. Because your set list. Yeah, I'm never going to change these. Get them for That joke.
I mean, have you seen that picture? Have you seen that picture of me doing a gig and I'm like holding the microphone like this and you can see my entire set list written on my hand?
No, I haven't. But that's
Very
good.
funny.
That's good.
All the promoters keep using it as well, and I'm like,
You're giving it away. Stop it.
can you please stop with that picture? It's a great picture apart from that though. I need to get a Photoshop. But I don't know what I would get tattooed on me, because what are the chances of you liking it in a year? That's why I haven't got one, you know?
That's what I think. That's what people
But I wouldn't I wouldn't get like, you know, a quote like live, laugh, love. I wouldn't get one of those. I don't love those ones. I'd want a tattoo that's like personal to me.
Yeah, I think it's got to
But
be
also
something.
not like super cheesy. Do you know what I mean?
It's hard, man. It's hard to do personal
It's
without doing
hard.
cheesy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really know. I don't know. But I would like one. I'll let you know when I figure it out.
If you let me know, come in with your fucking tattoos on your you can show it off in the podcast. I'm the same. I just can't think of anything that I would like to have on myself forever. I'm like, maybe that shows a complete lack of commitment
Or maybe
to
I'll get
anything.
like the little I probably get like the little drama heads. You know, one's sad and one's smiling.
Oh,
one's
like the theater fucking
theater thing.
Yeah.
So I might get that. I'd probably get something to do with like performing arts. I'd like to get a little. Oh, do you know what I was going to do actually last year, and I never did it? I was going to get like a little microphone tattooed on me, and then have like Edinburgh Fringe have like a quote that they do with their, or like a theme that they have for like the Fringe every year. I don't know what it was last year, but I was going to get like the little microphone and then put the quote on that as well, because it was my first show in Edinburgh.
Oh yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but then I never did it. I might look into that actually.
You can get
but then it's like, where do you put the tattoo? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what real estate is it going to occupy. You know what I mean? Because then that's the tattooed part of you as well. You know?
Yeah.
But I was going to say, there's a fucking ambulance here now as well. Jesus. I swear, man, I live in ambulance alley here. Like, it's just non-stop ambulances. Ambulance.
Do you live near a hospital?
I don't think so. They wouldn't be going. I don't believe I do. I haven't seen one.
You should probably find out where your nearest hospital is, Fallon.
Maybe. I think I'm just, if it happens, man. You know, well, anyway, sure, I don't even need to fucking worry about it. I just have to walk out into the middle of the road and fucking thumb one down. One goes by every 2 fucking minutes out here.
Are you going that way anyway?
But tattoos then, like, you don't want a neck tattoo. You know what I mean? Like, neck tattoo, you said, hey man, I'm not going to be doing any fucking frontline cashier work in the near future. That's what, you know. Neck
and head tattoos I can't get behind.
Yeah,
I don't like them.
I mean I think some people pull them off. I'm like, fucking good for you, but I don't think I could do it. I
wouldn't do it.
There's nothing more I suppose maybe I'm being judgmental, but I just think there's nothing more pathetic than like a skinny man with neck tattoos. I'm like, you can't, and head tattoos. I'm like, look at you. You know what I mean? You're just like, you have to, your neck has to be one of the, like the Rock, you know how his neck just starts at his ears and goes down to his shoulders.
Yes.
You need, like, then you can do, if you're a bouncer, if you're
like a bulldog.
If you're thick in that sense, like, you can have tattoos. Like, if you're like all these lanky hipsters with fucking like sailor tattoos on their neck, I'm just like, this is
live, laugh, love written across their neck.
On their jaw. There's what's his name? What's the name of the rapper? Fucking I can't think of the guy's name now, but he's got that tattoo on his face of an ice cream that says, and it says "burr" as in BRR, as in it's cold. He's got that tattooed on his face, and I love that. That for me is through. It's like through the eye of the needle looking glass, because the amount of sort of lack of fucks you have to give in order to get like nothing cool or badass, just like an ice cream on your face.
Yeah.
Like that's brilliant. But yeah, generally not a fan of face tattoos. And if you are going to have neck and head tattoos, you need to be able to fucking pull them off, man. I don't want to
pull them off. Absolutely, yeah. Not everyone can wear it. Not everyone can get them.
No,
they don't suit everyone. But yeah,
maybe. I can't think of any part of me that I want a fucking tattoo on. I knew my ex-girlfriend's had one on the bottom of her big toe, which I thought was an hilarious place to get a tattoo. She'd like a little smiley face tattooed on the bottom
I
of
was
her
just
big
going to
toe.
say, was it a smiley face?
Smiley face. Oh no, it was an alien face. It looked like a little alien.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like one of the ones with the big almond-shaped eyes, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, and I was like, yeah, it's stupid, but it's fun, you know? I like that.
Yeah, it's fun. And it's at the bottom of her foot as well. When I went to Greece a couple of years ago with a few of my friends, and we kept quoting, for some reason, Father Ted the whole time we were over there. And then one night, one of my friends got quite drunk, and she went in and got tattooed on the sole of her foot. Are those my feet?
That's great. That's great. See, now that I like.
Love it.
Because if you go for the joke, stupid tattoo, then you avoid the danger of it being taken too seriously. Because you're like, you know what I mean? You get away from that sort of potential problem where the earnest, being too earnest thing. Yeah.
They can be a bit much. But then it's like people say as well, once they get one tattoo, then they want like more.
This is what they say, yeah.
It seems to be a thing. Oh, the truck is driving away now. You'll be happy.
Gotta catch them all. You gotta get them. Like it's interesting. Have you seen the body modification people where they put like horns in their head and stuff like that, and they split their tongue in two, and they do all sorts of weird. Yeah, they're mad, man. That's weird shit. That's great.
I'd never have like the fucking gumption to do that. Do you know what I mean?
I think if you use a word like gumption, then you definitely will never have the gumption to do that. You know what I mean?
You can. Yeah, you can put a horn in your head. Get out.
This is a gumption-free zone.
That's fair. I will take my live, laugh, love, and I will leave.
Live. That was what I was going to say. Live, laugh, love. My friend, you know Tony, the guy, the crazy Chinese Tony, who I did the film with. He live, laugh, love. He kept buying things that said live, laugh, love on them. Because he's I don't know, man, because who knows, right? He bought me this for my birthday, a live, laugh, love chicken doorstop. Right? You'd like it now because you're calling everyone a chicken. You know, hey, chicken.
Hey,
right?
chicken. I love that. That's so funny.
I kept it just because it's so not me. It's so not like anything even remotely, but he's such a maniac, Tony. He's so earnest. He was like, oh, I just thought you might like it. I was just like, that's so cute, man. I can't even Alan the Cynic can't be annoyed at someone, but like, yeah.
My favorite thing about this is that it has like, what are those parts of the chicken called?
Oh, I don't know. I know the gobbly bits. I don't know.
Yeah. I love that it has those, but still has a dicky bow underneath it, even though you can't really see the dicky bow.
You know what? You're actually right. In my head, I think I just sort of mangled it together as one giant dicky bow. But you're right. That's the head balls or whatever they're called, the face balls, and the
love that they did that.
Now, in retrospect, I bet he was just because he was close to when he was moving house, so it was probably just his doorstop, and he fucking was like, "I'll get rid of this shit."
I don't think so. I didn't want to tell you that.
Well, it doesn't matter either way. It's great either way, man. It's either way. I just love it. And then he had this other one. And then when he was moving out, he had this other picture that was live. This one is live, laugh, love. That one is love, live, laugh. The chicken is love, live, laugh. I don't know if you picked up on that, which is...
I did. I saw that live was in the middle, and I was like, that's wrong.
Kind of a twist on the traditional theme there, because I'd imagine you have to be alive in order to love and to laugh. But he's saying, no, love first. So. But see, it depends if you're thinking, if your, parents loved, by which I mean, right? Then you get to live, and then you get to laugh about it. And then they
laugh at you and all your unsuccessfess.
That's right. And then you get revenge on them by tattooing their old wrinkly faces on your shoulder and be like, how'd you like that, you fuckers? Now you're immortalized as gobshites forever on my shoulder blade. But then this is the one that he had in his house that when he left, he was like, Alan, I've got some bits of computer stuff that he gave me a box. And he told me he was giving me a printer, right? Fucking Tony now, right? Told me he was giving me a printer, and then I opened the printer box up. The printer was in there, and every other fucking item he didn't want from his fucking house was jammed in there as well. It's a
Johnny Bastard.
fucking prick. But the printer was kind of handy, so I couldn't complain too much. But this one also says live, laugh, love. And I don't know if you can see that, but see, there's a little man in a boat there now.
Yeah.
And he's rowing away into an ocean of like oblivion. It's like this dark ocean. And I was like, what the fuck, man? It says it's the loneliest, saddest image I can think of that goes with live, laugh, love. So
I love that.
It's so great, man.
It's just like the only way you'll be happy is if you leave society behind.
Love into oblivion.
Find yourself a tiny island and good luck.
But see, this is the great thing about, like knowing mad people, right? I know that Tony just had that on his table being like, yeah, that's cool looking. Like he probably bought it when he moved into the apartment. In fact, he must have done, because if it wasn't his, he wouldn't have given it to me, along with the rest of his shit he didn't want. But like, I'm sure he had that up there, like, you live, laugh, love. Yeah, that's a good slogan. That's cool. And that's a nice picture of a guy in a boat, and just like the disconnect not registering. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's very funny.
I love. That's one of the few things I've tried to get rid of, all the knickknacks and shit from my life as much as possible. But that's one of the few things I keep just because I love that, man. Live, laugh, love.
That man is not happy. Like the man in that book
To
is
oblivion.
not happy.
Done.
I love it. That's so funny.
Die, cry, hate. Is it? Or die, hate. Live, laugh. Die, cry, hate.
Escape.
Escape.
SOS.